The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 11 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, offering Nissan, Kia, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, and the resale division with locations in the greater Rochester area near you. Visit visionauto.com. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Happy holidays and thanks for making the High School Sports Beat part of your Christmas weekend. We begin our look at Section 5 sports with Rush-Henrietta Hockey. The Royal Comets are looking a little different this year after merging with a couple of city schools. Now 3 city kids are making an impact on the ice and some history in the process. Here's Paul Gotham.
It came at the 14:03 mark of the third period. The third goal and a 4-1 Rush-Henrietta victory over the Grease Storm on Tuesday, December 4th. The Royal Comets' Matt Alberts took a pass from teammate Afton McKenzie and lit the lamp.
I honestly don't remember what happened. I just remember I scored, and I thought totally different. Then I saw the video. I'm like, I did that? I was starstruck.
That Alberts scored comes as no surprise. A product of the Parent and Youth program, he has also played on high-level tournament teams. But a year ago, it wasn't possible for Alberts to put one in the net as a member of the Rush-Henrietta Hockey program. A student at World of Inquiry in the Rochester City School District, Alberts' goal represents the first by a city school district student since the 1970s.
It's cool being the first city kid to ever score a goal in Section 5, and that puck is sitting in my athletic director's office right now. It's going to go in the trophy case in a couple days, so I'm going to leave it with School 58, and they can do whatever they want with it.
Rochester City students playing Section 5 hockey. It took the collaborative efforts of Carlos Cotto and Tom Stewart to get the idea off the ground.
We knew that they had some kids that were looking for a place to play, and I think Rush-Henrietta is the perfect spot for them. So it was kind of mutual. We went back and forth. I spoke with the athletic directors at the city school district.
What has to take place in order for this to happen is we've got to have some buy-in on both sides. And because you're bringing in an entire district into another district, there's some complexity to that. With Section 5 or just interscholastic sports in general, when you bring 2 groups together, or 2 programs together, it does increase classifications, puts you in different classifications as a whole. So there's a lot behind the scenes in just making sure that we're not, that the impact is going to support the overall growth of a program. Students have access to this opportunity, but in the same, there's no impact, a negative impact on either end in reference to those that are currently participating within the program as a whole.
The idea has been years in the making.
So about 3 to 4 years ago, we've been trying to see what mergers would work best. So I would say 2 years ago, I reached out to a couple of schools in the county to find out whether or not is this the right time. Given where those particular programs were, can we start to provide an opportunity here in Rochester for students to participate in ice hockey? So we've got to find, and this is where I've shared, the youth program that's here in the city, how can we start to generate that interest and build from the foundation? This particular program starts as early as kindergartners to get that kind of momentum going so that as we continue to hopefully work within this merger, build program within the merger, but ultimately, right here in Rochester.
So what was your first reaction when you heard the team was going to have city school district kids on it?
Well, believe it or not, in the league, there's almost as many teams with mergers or potential, mergers than there are without. And for us, we've been tracking the numbers, and we've been low in the middle school area. So for us, it was a no-brainer. It's really been in the works. And we're thrilled for those kids to have an opportunity to play hockey. And for us, it's not to strengthen our program, it's to maintain our program.
Plans took shape earlier this year.
We started in the summer. It was probably maybe August. I don't think it was in July. And by the time we got it completed, the season was right around the corner. So it took a good 3 months.
Well, we knew early enough. We had them in the summer. They were able to get some of the summer workouts and, immediately, come right in. And it's just, it was a perfect scenario. And, the transition's been great, and just enjoy having them.
Fellow City School District students Josiah Bertow and Freddie Ahumada from the School of Arts joined Alberts on the RH squad.
What was your first reaction when you found out that you were going to be able to play on this team?
It was honestly relief. I was really worried that because I was playing on a split season travel team, so I was really worried I wouldn't have anything to do during the winter seasons when everyone else is playing high school hockey.
What was your first reaction when you found out you were going to have a chance to be on this team?
Excitement. It was all excitement. I was really excited to play at this type of level because usually it's kind of have fun, and I usually play really good at those type of levels, but this is a huge step up for me, and it's just going to be a lot of fun to play for sectionals this year.
And the transition?
It's amazing, to be honest, because I'm in a good position to where I get to kind of shadow this great goalie who's been really good for this team for a lot of good years, so I get to shadow him, and then next year I get to start, which is going to be really exciting and a little anxious, and I'm going to have a lot of fun.
We love having them. They're awesome. In the locker room, on the ice, they're saving our legs for the 7, because last year there's 15-minute periods. This year it's 17, so our legs would be dead without Josiah, Matt, and then Freddie. We built a great relationship with each other, so he's the backup goalie, and he's a good guy. He's awesome. He cheers me on every practice. We make good saves. We slap the sticks on the ground. It's cool having the boys.
Can you put into words how much this means to you to have this opportunity to play high school hockey?
Oh, it's super amazing. I mean, I never thought I'd be able to play at this high of a level with other guys, so just being able to play varsity hockey and kind of represent my school and a different school, but my school as well, is really, really fun.
The kids from the city are definitely respected as players and have been accepted onto the team like the Rush-Henrietta kids. It's been great, and the same way the other way around too.
And we're just thrilled to give them an opportunity. They brought life to our program, and I think kids that have the opportunity to play and know they would play sometimes take it for granted. So the extra energy that they bring to the ice every day, it's just helped our team and our energy level.
I was shocked. It was like the last thing I expected in my senior year of high school, knowing that the city, I never thought the city would ever get a team, and finding out this year that we can go play for Rush-Henrietta, which is a fantastic organization, is just, it's an honor. I'm proud to support the city with this decision, and hopefully a lot more kids come and play for us this next seasons and the seasons forward.
From the Scottsville Ice Arena, this is Paul Gotham with the Vision High School Sports Beat.
Coming up next, Paul is back for the Dunkin Donuts High School Notebook. We'll have that and more when the Vision High School Sports Beat returns.
Bacon, egg, cheese. Only one way to make this better. Another one. Dunkin' Go-Tos. Get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5. America runs on Dunkin'.
And welcome back once again to the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. It is time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. And as always, we're joined by Paul Gotham from PickandSplinters.com. Paul, what's on the website right now?
Well, we're going to have the Rainbow Classic coverage. We got John LeConge will be there at the U of R covering both the girls and the boys game for us. Don't forget about Matt Traybold. I haven't mentioned him in a couple weeks, but Trabs Gabs, that's where Section 5 Hoops fans go to eat. And they eat plenty because he gives them plenty of stuff to read for the whole weekend.
Sounds great. So we're going to start off talking a little bit about a whole bunch of overtime games that you got to experience.
Christmas came early. For me at least, Christmas came early. 4 overtime games in 1 week. A lot of bonus basketball. Starts off with Monroe edging out Leadership Academy, then East and Northeast Douglas. Just really a great atmosphere at School 33. We have plenty of footage of that game. It was a great comeback win for Darryl Barley's East High Eagles. And then on Saturday afternoon, McQuaid comes back and beats Niagara Falls in overtime, and then that night, East again in overtime over Nottingham from Section 3 in the Bishop Kearney Christmas Showcase. So it was a really a week where you were on the edge of your seat. It was great to watch.
You talk about overtime and extra time. Talk a little bit about a trip that North Star Christian took.
Well, I don't think J.J. Garwood and his crew had this in mind when they plan to go and see a Cleveland Cavaliers game and play a game with a 2 o'clock scheduled tip-off in the afternoon. They show up, they take the bus, the school bus. It wasn't a coach bus. They didn't fly. We knew they weren't going to fly. They didn't take a coach bus, a regular school bus from North Star to Cleveland. They leave Friday morning. They show up and find out that they're having problems with the floor. The staff gives them some choices, and the choice that they ended up going to was, we're going to play at 10:30 at night. So after the Cavs play, North Star takes the floor with Orchard Park. The game finishes after midnight. They load back up in the bus, drive straight home to Rochester. That night, they go out on the floor, take the floor against Leadership Academy. By the way, Leadership Academy scored 112 points a week ago. And they beat them. And it was one of those moments, I think it was a full gym at Bishop Kearney in the showcase again. And there was the sense amongst a lot of people that there was a little shifting in the balance of power in Class A, because the thing that's easy to forget is that North Star is really a D school. If we go by their numbers, they're Class D. They've been winning at Class C. They've been to the state finals, state semifinals, so they get bumped up to Class A. And now they go and beat Leadership, who's a Class A contender. They beat Orchard Park, a AA team. There's a lot of, I'm sure a lot of the other Class A schools had to sit up and take notice and say, okay, Miles Brown and this crew, they're not just a Class C school doing well at that level. They're going to do well at this level, and it's going to make for a great February and March.
And those guys all got a great story to tell for the rest of their lives about the trip to Cleveland. Real quick, let's talk a little girls basketball. Let's talk Bishop Kearney girls.
You go Bishop Kearney girls, picking right up where they left off. And the funny thing is, you watch them play, and it's so seamless, and it looks so experienced. And then you look down at the roster, and it's 6 sophomores. Mariana Freeman, 5'3", 5'4", and she slices through the lane, finishes with a left hand, finishes with the right hand. Great comment by Billy Hayen on Twitter that she's the best left-handed finisher who's actually a right-hander. And then Sanaya Wilson, again, they're sophomores. You know, a bunch of us would have thought, haven't they graduated by now? But they're still going to be around this year and 2 more years. Kevin Shepard, Bishop Kearney, it's going to be a great ride to watch them.
And for a couple of years to come. We'll be back with more of the Vision High School Sports Beat right after this. Coming up next, the Making the Grade nominee with Kim, and later Spencerport Hockey is back in contention when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson.
This week is Kara Oatman of HFL. Kara is a standout on the basketball court. As a 6-year varsity player, she's a team leader and is being recruited by multiple colleges to play at the next level. She's also a 4-year cross-country runner. Aside from everything she does to better herself athletically, she also participates in a range of clubs and activities. Kara volunteers her time as a student coach for kids with disabilities through the Unified Basketball Program. She's also a member of the Rotary Interact Club, the Big and Little Program, the Green Team, and the Environmental Education Club. Kara currently carries a 97 average and is still deciding on what college she'll attend in the future. She hopes to major in education so that she can become a teacher and one day coach high school basketball. This week, Kara Oatman is making the grade.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into info@classywolf.com. And now here's Dave with the McArdles Section 5 Spotlight.
Well, thanks, Kim. Here are some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in this week's Section 5 Spotlight, brought to you by McArdles in Fairport. Come home to McArdles. Congrats to Hilton Wrestling, which took home the Monroe County Championship thanks to 6 individual champs. Gregory McNeil, Rocco Camilacci, Greg Diacomahalis, Ryan Burgos, Sammy DePrez, and Colin Burns. Victor's Joseph Theed was the Monroe County winner at 170 pounds. Theed was also named the upper weight most outstanding wrestler at the event. Bishop Kearney grad Quentin Rose had another big day for Temple basketball, leading the Owls to an overtime win with 5 points in the extra session, including a game-winning steal and breakaway dunk. And finally, the RAP basketball tournament is back. Mark your calendars for Saturday, January 19th at East High. Some huge matchups scheduled, including East hosting Bishop Kearney. Well, up next, the Rangers have a new winning attitude on the ice in Spencerport. We'll have that story when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
And now to Eichel. He floated one.
Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. This segment of the Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the Injury Free Coalition and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli. Please remember to always wear your seatbelt in the front and back seats and to focus only on driving when behind the wheel of a car. This message courtesy of the Injury Free Coalition for Kids Smart Teen Driving Program and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli. Spencerport finished the season last year 0-10 after winning just one game the year before. This year's Rangers have put those struggles in the past and entered the holiday weekend with a 7-1 record. For the last few years, if you played hockey for Spencerport, it might have felt like you were getting run over by one of these just about every time you took the ice. With one win in the last 2 years, keeping a positive attitude and continuing to put in the effort was a struggle.
We tried working our hardest the past couple of years. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And as you can see, we just kept going, and now this year we're doing pretty well, and hopefully we keep going in that direction.
Yeah, it was tough. We're out here every day working hard, trying our best, but at the end of the day, some things aren't working out, and it's good to have like a new mindset about everything going and just a new culture.
That new culture has been driven by Ford, as a new head coach, Ryan Ford. This year, the Rangers have had a rebirth, off to a start that has put them on top of their division. A success that is a result of everyone on the roster doing whatever it takes to get the job done.
We got a bunch of moving parts. If you watch our lines, they're not always consistent. We rotate guys in and out, but I love the group we have. The boys seem to dig hard whenever they're on the ice, and we've been finding ways to squeak games out here, so we'll take it.
So our culture, it's been a lot positive, and we're just, as a team, we're like together a lot, and I don't know, we're talking a lot more than last year too.
Coach Ford really is helping us out a lot this year. He's teaching us all of his new tactics, reinventing the way that we played before, and he's making it a whole ton better for everyone on the team.
You don't have to look too far for an example of the all-hands-on-deck attitude. The Rangers have been winning games lately with one of their regular forwards forced into goal because of an injury to their normal netminder, including a recent game against Gates Chilai.
We're going through some adversity here with our goalie being injured. We throw a forward by trade in net, and he's going to run with the ball as long as we can here. But to watch the boys not crumble when we give up a couple goals and start picking each other up on the bench, and you can see the ice kind of shift, and now we got the momentum. We're running with it, and as soon as we went into overtime, I told them, we're an overtime team. We've been here before. We're going to get this one, and luckily we did.
When Ford first took over the reins, he knew instantly this group was ready for bigger and better things. It helps that assistant coach Brian Fideli has been with the program for a while and helped with the transition, although there are moments.
Still a little nerve-wracking at times. Coach Fideli has been a major help in that. He knows all these kids. He's his son's on the team, so he's known them forever. But he also comes with a bunch of coaching experience. So the fact to have him on board and kind of be able to bounce ideas off him, and he can tell me what's worked in the past and what hasn't, I think it's been a great fit between the two of us. From day one, when I first met the kids, I could tell they were ready for a good season. Not to say they weren't in the past, but there was something about this year that as soon as the puck dropped, these kids were ready to start working.
So the boys really rallied around the coaching change. We really tightened up as a group, and as you can see in practice, we're live out there, positive, and really ready to go. We're looking forward to the rest of the season.
After struggling through the majority of their high school careers, these Rangers are finally seeing their hard work and dedication pay off. And for the seniors especially, it makes for a year to remember.
Nice save.
Like, I think we've won 7 games over the past 3 years, and we're already 6-1 this year, so we're doing great, and we're happy, and everyone's ecstatic. All the seniors are very happy that we're finally having some success, so yeah, it's good.
How much more fun is this to be winning as opposed to in the past?
Oh, I'm having a blast. Like I said, Coach said, I've been here since the beginning, and it's a great turnaround for my senior year.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially the 11 dealerships in the Vision Automotive Group, for making the Sports Beat possible. Thanks for watching, and from all of us with the Vision High School Sports Beat, happy holidays. We'll see you again next week.